Hey guys, welcome to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. This week in WoW, we will have the Spring Balloon Festival, which is happening today, and it will be for the next couple of days, so from the 10th to the 12th. The weekly will be Mythics, and also we'll have the PvP Brawl, South Shore versus Terran Mill. As for some things you might want to get done before reset occurs tomorrow, there is the 4 battlegrounds for the weekly. Also, the world boss for 250 anima. Mythics, if that's something you like to do. Weekly mounts and transmogs. Another thing is that the alpaca mount is available for this past week, so this is the last day. We won't see that come around for another 6 weeks, so if you don't have that mount, definitely head out to Valden where the rare will be and put in your tries for the mount. As for my goals and accomplishments, obviously I didn't do a video last week, so there was nothing, but what I am gonna do is I want to try to get that rogue to 60. I've had it sitting at 58 for literal months now. I've put a lot of stuff ahead of it, and I just want to get it to 60 so that rogue can hit up Venthyr. That's where I want to put the rogue. And then I will finally have all 4 covered. And yeah, so that is the goal for this week. Now, one interesting thing I thought I'd mention regarding the content you're viewing right now is that I had logged on this character because I was gonna bring her out to one of the Panda World boss runs, right? But I couldn't remember what level she was. Obviously, she's too low level to go over there. I gotta level her up. But I just thought I'd mention that this is a demon hunter that, like, it's one of my many demon hunters, and I created this demon hunter like so long ago. I think I created it in Legion when they came out, but I only focused my Alliance Demon Hunter, and this one just kind of sat there created, but never logged into. And so, as you know, now if you create a Demon Hunter, it starts at like level 8 or something. And this character, you can't tell because it doesn't show, but at some point in this video, I do believe I mouse over my party frames. But this character is like a level 39 or something. I was literally the only level 39 in this zone. Every person I passed by, I moused over, and they were like level 8 to 10. And yeah, so I thought that was quite interesting that it kept that level, and that I'm pretty damn close to max level, just barely being out of the beginning area. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. Obviously a little goof up there, but whatever, I'll take it. And yeah, so I just thought I'd point that out. Now, you'll see right here because I just level, so yeah, level 40 right there. So yeah, very, very interesting. Okay, so as for news, the major news has to do with Burning Crusade, obviously, right? There has definitely been a lot of news regarding that. So the first bit of news is that we have a release date now, and Classic BC will release on June 1st. The pre-patch is real soon. It is May 18th, which is very, very around the corner. I was a little shocked in how little notice we really had with these release dates. Now, since we all live in different areas, I will link in the description the global release date. Feel free to check timeframes if you're looking for that. Next up, we have the deluxe edition. This one is kind of pricey in my personal opinion, but you do get a bunch of stuff, I guess. But I guess I see it as kind of pricey because I played BC years ago, right? But I guess in a sense you get new stuff, whatever, right? Anyway, it's going to cost you $70 US, and what comes with it is there is the Reawaken Phase Hunter mount, which will be for the Burning Crusade. There's a second mount. It's called the Viridian Phase Hunter mount, and this one is supposed to be able to be used in both versions of the game. And then there's also going to be the Dark Portal Hearthstone and the Path of Illidan toy. There's going to be the Dark Portal Pass, which basically is a fancier way of saying there's going to be a boost included. And so that boost will be level 58. Obviously, this would not apply to Blood Elves and Draenei's. And then you'll have your 30 days of game time added in there. Also, we got some news on the cost of the cloning service, and this is where there's a lot of outrage in the communities. Many of us were figuring it would be like $10, and it's turned out that it's going to be a $35 purchase to clone your character. And yeah, as far as when, you'll be able to clone your character starting on May 18th, which is when the pre-patch launches. For those that maybe don't understand quite what the clone is, it's basically for you to be able to play the same character in both your World of Warcraft Classic era and Burning Crusade. Backtracking a bit to the boosts, you can also just purchase a boost by itself. It's called getting the Dark Portal Pass. So the Dark Portal Pass and a boost, basically. So what that will get you is upon getting your boost character, you'll get the Apprentice riding skill. You will get your race-specific mount, your weapon skills up to level 58. You'll have access to some flight paths. And you will have a full set of level 58 green gear. Your character will come equipped with 14 slot rune cloth bags. And a bit of gold. They don't really say how much, but you'll start with a little bit of gold. And that's basically it. Before we end the topic of the Burning Crusade launching, I would just like to say that the deluxe edition that you pay $70 if you choose to for is not the only way you can play the game. I feel the need to remind people that to play Burning Crusade is actually free. Just if you wanted that bonus stuff like mounts and boosts and all that, that's why you would purchase the deluxe edition. So if you still want to play it but you don't want to buy that, you feel safe doing the pre-patch and all that. It will still be included in your sub. Okay, so that covers the news for Classic WoW, so let's get to some retail WoW news. So the first bit of news is that we will now be able to skip the Torghast and Twisting Corridor questline once 9.1 releases. This one's a weird one because I kind of thought the first one would be for us to skip the intro that you first start with in Shadowlands, the Maw intro. So hopefully they will add that in, but at the moment the skippable thing is the Torghast and Twisting Corridor, so that you can get directly into the 9.1 campaign. The next piece of news is that we will be able to upgrade the profession gear to a 230 item level. Now, there is a stipulation with this one, and that is that you can only equip one on your character. So yeah, you can put it to 230 item level, but you'll have to be very picky on which one you choose to use. And that will be through a new crafter mark that will be available in 9.1. Next, we have some Torghast stuff. So Torghast is going to get some cosmetic shoulder rewards in 9.1. The list is kind of long, and I'm a little too lazy to screenshot it all right now. Because I have a lot of videos I have to edit right after this one. So if you're interested in seeing those cosmetics, check out the link in the description. I will throw the link in there and you can just look on the site yourself. The next piece of news has to do with Soul Ash. So there is going to be a packaged Soul Ash item. And basically what that means is that you can send it to your alts because it will be bind to account. So there is a couple different ones. One is showing that you open it to gain 250 Soul Ash, and then another is showing that you open to gain 1300 Soul Ash. The 1300 Soul Ash is showing that it would cost your character 1500 Soul Ash to transfer 1300 to an alt. The one that's for 250 would cost your character 300 Soul Ash to transfer 250 to an alt. I personally like this idea because I struggle to be motivated on my alts to do Torghast, whereas my main has actually a huge chunk of Soul Ash remaining because of me getting legendaries for 2 specs, because I went and grinded a crap load of Torghast so that I could have my rank 4 on both my Boomy and my Resto. So yeah, that'll be really nice because I've been wanting to line up my Shaman with a better legendary than she currently has, but I just don't have it in me to bring that character into a Torghast, so. And the last piece of news I have for you guys has to do with the Vicious War Spider requirements. So as you guys know, it in order to get the seasonal mounts, you need 1400 rating, and so now they've lowered it to 1000. They've just mentioned War Spider, but you can go ahead and just kind of put together that that's gonna be every seasonal. You know, like that is, it's not gonna be just for that. It'll be every seasonal. The only thing we're not sure of is if that's gonna apply to the Vicious Saddle, but once again, my personal opinion is, yeah, I think it will apply to the Vicious Saddle, because I think it's gonna be a bit of work for them to separate the two. And yeah, so I would think so, but unconfirmed on the Vicious Saddle right now. That's just my personal hunch that I think that they will allow that. And honestly, the only reason I have that hunch is because I've literally seen them make every aspect of WoW easier. So honestly, the only thing they're missing is the PvP aspect. Everything else in the game is a lot easier. Raids are easier, mythics are easier. You know, leveling is a lot easier, gearing is severely easier. And yeah, they honestly, what the complaint in the game is that it's just boring content, but boring content does not equal hard content. Okay, and for this week, we do have a member question. So Arsenal asks, Since you are a day one player and have experienced all dungeons and raids as current content, which dungeon is your favorite and which raid is your favorite? Are there any dungeons or raids that you still hate to this day? My favorite raid has always been Kara. I have loved that raid ever since it came out. And yeah, no raid has ever taken over that spot. I love the chess event. I love the opera event. Yes, it's just, yeah, I just love it. And as far as dungeons go, when they brought out the Kara dungeon, I loved that as well. I think they did a really good job on the Kara dungeon. So, pretty easy question, I guess, because it's all Kara. Yeah. And, yeah, so that would be my favorite dungeon and raid. You asked if there's any that I hate to this day. I can't think of any raids that I really hate to do. You know, I personally think the 1 or 2 boss raids is still stupid. I've never liked those raids. I think they're a waste of time. But do I hate them? No. However, there is one dungeon that comes to mind that many of you who watch my streams may already know that I hate this dungeon because I start swearing when I get it in time walking, and yeah, or if I'm leveling and I get it, and that dungeon would be the Oculus. I hate that dungeon. It's easy to do, but man, is it time consuming. It takes you forever to get to your next points, and yeah, that is definitely my most hated dungeon in the game. And that concludes this week's WoW Weekly with Myst. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you're still having fun in WoW. However, if you've sidetracked to other games, I completely don't blame you there. WoW is in the worst state it's ever been. Like, ever. Even worse than it was last expansion. You know. And yeah, so I don't blame people for playing other games. I actually have, and I'm generally the last person you would think would even move to another game. I have been so heavily hooked to WoW for so many years that I typically don't sidetrack to any games, that aren't WoW. And even I have, so yeah. I still play WoW, of course, but yeah, I've definitely been playing other games on the side as well. So whatever you are doing, I hope you enjoy. If you're watching the video, you're obviously still a WoW fan, and that's all that matters, right? So, and that's all I have. So have a great one, guys. Have a great week. It's going to be a pretty slow week, to be honest. All that's really going on this week is Mythic, so great week to go play some other games if you were thinking of it. And we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.